Hi guys, today I want to talk about my favorite drugstore products. I just realized a lot recently how much some of my drugstore products I use almost every single day when I'm getting ready. And also I picked up a lot of newer things from Target in the past few months and have really fallen in love with them. They've kind of even taken the spot of some of my favorite high-end products. So let's go ahead and just talk about my favorite 10 items that are underneath $10, and I'm going to talk about them in no particular order, but I love them all. And also, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, please click the subscribe button below this video, and let's go ahead and dive right into my favorite drugstore products. Alright, so the first product I want to talk about are my Maybelline FItMe concealers. I've used these in a lot of tutorials, and as you can see, they're both pretty, well, I don't know if you can see if it's really focusing on these, but I've used both of them up pretty much. One's more of like my skin tone shade, and the other one's more like my highlighting shade. Sometimes I'll mix them together to get just a perfect in-between shade. But I really love these concealers. They're very creamy, they blend into the skin very well. They're very affordable, somewhere between $5 to $7. And also keep in mind as I'm talking about all these products, different drugstores have different prices, and then also you're going to find things for a more affordable price at Target or Walmart as opposed to a drugstore like Walgreens or CVS, unless CVS or Walgreens is having a buy one, get one 50% off sale or something like that. So most of the time I usually try and pick my drugstore cosmetics up from Walmart or Target because that's usually the best price that I find them. But as I mentioned, these could be somewhere between $5 to $7. I use them all the time. I clearly need to pick up some new ones. They're really great. I really love drugstore concealers. I hardly go for high-end concealers anymore. When I used up my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, I didn't even repurchase it because I just love the Maybelline FItMe concealer so much. Alright, so the next product that I want to talk about is a brow product. And by no means am I a brow expert. There's some girls on YouTube who spend so much time on brows. They really shape them and define them. But I'm just kind of the type of person who just fills in the natural shape and just kind of lets them be. I will kind of get them waxed every once in a while just to clean them up, but I'm not obsessed with brows. But my favorite brow product is the Loreal Brow Stylist Plumper. This is really great. It's a tinted brow mascara, and it has a super small wand. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really great because it doesn't deposit product all over the place. You can really control where you want the product. And also another great thing about this product is not only is it tinted, but it also has fibers in it. So if you have very thin brows, this really helps plump up your brows and make them look more full. So sometimes if I don't have time to fill in my brows, I will use just this as a one and done product on more natural makeup days. Alright, so the next product that I want to talk about is also another product that I think I've used in every tutorial that I've done on this channel, and it is the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Mascara. So I get the water resistant formula. It's not completely waterproof, like you can still remove it easily when you're taking off your makeup at night. But I just find that it lasts really well on my lower lash line, and that's what I typically use it for, is just on my lower lashes. But I'll also use it on my upper lashes as well if I know it's going to be a really long day and I know I need something to last really long. Or if I want just a more natural look, I'll use it for my top lashes as well, but I primarily use it every single day for my lower lashes. It's a really great price, and it's also a really great product that will not let you down. Alright, so the next product that I want to talk about is a newer product to me, but I have quickly fallen in love. This is the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny Eyeliner. Now, if you've watched a lot of my makeup tutorials, I generally do not wear eyeliner. I just find that I have pretty small eyelids, and I feel like by the time I get eyeliner on, I usually do it too thick and it takes up so much of my lid space. And that's why this eyeliner is so great, because as you can see, it is teeny tiny. It is like the size of like a mechanical pencil almost. And so it's really great to just kind of steady your hand. What I'll do is I'll steady my hand on a table and I'll just literally just drag it barely across my upper lashes so I can get a super thin line just to barely define my lash line and give my eyes some definition, but I don't want to take up too much of my lid space with my eyeliner. So if you're someone who struggles with eyeliner and you feel like you get it all over the place, I highly recommend this product. It's one that I'm reaching for constantly, and I don't think I use any of my other eyeliners since I've gotten this one. Alright, so the next product that I want to talk about is a product from e.l.f. and I picked this product up at Target. I don't know if they sell it at Walmart or other places where they sell e.l.f. yet, but I did pick this up at Target. And this is the e.l.f. Contouring Palette. Now this is the perfect palette for people who want to experiment with contouring but don't want to spend, you know, $40+ on the Anastasia contour kit or the Kat Von D contour kit, because this palette is only $6 and I think it's almost just as good as the Kat Von D kit. So it comes with 4 shades. It comes with like a warmer, more bronzy shade and then like a cooler shade to chisel out your cheekbones. I'm wearing like a combination of these 2 shades today on my cheekbones, and then I have this shade around my hairline. And then there's a lighter matte shade that's kind of got a yellow tinge to it that you can use to set your under eye concealer and brighten underneath your eyes. And then this technically has a little bit of glow to it, but when you put it on your face, you're not gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's a glowy powder. So sometimes I'll just mix these 2 powders to put underneath my eyes. But as I mentioned, this is only $6. The powders are super blendable and I highly recommend it. It is a really good affordable contour kit. And it's also super compact. A lot of contour kits, like the Kat Von D one I'll show you, they're really big and bulky and kind of hard to travel with. This is like half the size of the Shade and Light eye palette, or the shade, not the eye palette, just the Shade and Light contour kit. So this is a lot more travel friendly than this one is, and also a lot more affordable. So if you've been wanting to try out contouring but don't want to shell out the money, try this one. It's amazing. Alright, so the next product that I want to talk about is my favorite blush from the drugstore, and I think I've mentioned it once or twice on my channel before. It is the Milani Romantic Rose blush. The shade is Romantic Rose. They have other shades that are called like Tea Rose, but Romantic Rose is my favorite. It is a really pretty neutrally, did I just make that up? I think I did. It's a very beautiful neutral colored blush, and so that's why I like it, is because it goes with so many looks. I'll wear it year round, I'll wear it in winter, I'll wear it in summer, and I also love it because it's matte. I find that a lot of blushes from the drugstore have shimmer in them, and I like to place my highlight where I want it. I don't want glow all over my cheeks, I just want it on the very tops of my cheekbones. So that's why I love this blush, because it's matte and I can just put the shimmer on my cheekbones where I want them. And I think this blush just complements so many different skin tones and so many different eye looks. I highly recommend this blush. It's a really good one. And if you ever have a hard time finding Milani, I typically find my Milani at CVS. Every CVS I've been to carries Milani. I've seen some Walgreens that carry it, but I typically find it at CVS. Alright, so the next product that I want to talk about is technically not under $10. It's right on the $10 price point, but I think the $10 is well worth it. And it's these e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes. So they're completely different. One is all matte, and that is this one. This is called the Mad for Matte palette. And this is 10 all matte shades, and I think it's great because I find it very hard to find matte drugstore eyeshadows that aren't chalky and blend well, and I feel like this palette is exactly that. Exactly the opposite of that. I think it blends very well and it's not chalky at all, and I find that I can use it to complement a lot of my drugstore shimmery shadows, because I think to get the perfect eye look you need a mixture of matte and shimmer shadows. So whenever I do a look with a shimmery palette and I need to pull in some mattes, I will always reach for this one. And then this is the shimmery palette, and so I'll actually use these palettes a lot with each other. And this is the e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette, and it comes in different shades, but this is specifically the shade called Naked. And it comes with 6 shimmery eyeshadows, and they are beautiful lid shades or highlight shades as well. These 2 are very beautiful highlights, especially this one right here. I find that it's a dupe for MAC Nylon. It's kind of that like soft yellowy pearly shade, and so I'm actually using this shade to highlight my inner corner today, and then I have this shade all over the lid. I'm wearing a conjunction of these 2 palettes today. I find that I love mixing these 2 palettes together, and I find they create beautiful natural looks. And even buying both of them together, it's $20, but that's still like half the price of a high-end eyeshadow palette. So even if you shell out the $20 for both palettes, I think it's highly worth it, and you can come up with some really pretty looks with them. Alright, we're getting on the home stretch here. We're on the last 3 products. I'll continue with some more eyeshadows. This is my last eyeshadow product. And these are the L'Oreal Infallible shadows. Now these are single shadows from the drugstore, and they're more like pressed pigments. They come in these little pots. You open them up like this, and then they've got a little stopper in them to keep everything pressed down. And they're just these beautiful shades that are highly pigmented, and I love using them as all over lid shades. So this one is called Ice Latte. It's a very pretty champagne shade. It's a dupe for Stila Kitten. So if you've been wanting a highly shimmery champagne shade like Stila Kitten, but you don't want to spend the $20 that I think that costs, buy this one. It's less than $10. I want to say it's around 7 or 8, and it's literally the most beautiful all over lid shade. It's very universal. You can use it for a more natural look or a more glam look, but I love using this shade. And then the other shade that I have is called Bronze Taupe. I don't know why they call it Bronze Taupe. I would just call it bronze because I just think it's like a bronzy brown color. I don't see any taupe in there, but it's another beautiful all over lid shade. It's kind of more of a mid-tone. And I don't think I'd wear this as much all over the lid during the summertime, but I do really like this shade and I do use it a lot. Alright, so the next one is the product that's kind of almost right on that $10 price point. I picked this up a few weeks ago from Target for $9.99. So if you do pick it up somewhere like CVS, it is going to be more expensive than $9.99. But if you go to Target or Walmart, chances are it'll be less than $10. And this is the Revlon Colorstay foundation. Now this is like a old school drugstore foundation. Like if you watch really old YouTube videos, tons of people used to talk about this foundation all the time, but just so many products have come out recently that people have kind of forgotten about this foundation. So I picked it up and I realized why it used to be so popular, and I think it should be getting just as much attention today as it did back then. It's really great because it says it has a 24-hour wear. I've never worn foundation for a full 24 hours, but I have worn this for a really long day and it did last me all day. Also, the great thing about this foundation is it comes in 2 different formulas. This is the normal to dry skin formula because, as I've mentioned before on my channel, I have very dry skin. So this doesn't accentuate my dry patches. It just gives me a really nice, more matte finish on my skin without clinging to any dry patches. There is another formula for oily to combination skin, and I hear if you have oily skin and you have a hard time finding a foundation that lasts on your skin all day, I've heard that this foundation in the oily formula is amazing for oily skin. So whether you have dry skin or oily skin, you can find the formula that works for you, and I highly recommend it. It's such a good foundation, and they recently repackaged it to have a pump. A lot of drugstore foundations don't have pumps, and I find that I like the control that I can get with the pump because I know that when I use this foundation, I just use one full pump. So I'll squeeze out a pump, dot it all over my face, and it's a really easy way to control me from putting too much foundation on my face. Alright, now the last product that I'm going to talk about is a product that I've talked about, I think, in a few favorites videos, and they will continue to always be my favorite. And these are the Maybelline Creamy Matte Lipsticks. These are my favorite drugstore lipsticks, and I literally have them in 7 different colors. And if they had more neutral shades, I would pick them up. I'm wearing today Blushing Pout. It's a beautiful lighter pink shade. I kind of used a darker lip liner to deepen it up on the outer edges a little bit, but I find that this is the most beautiful pink shade. And even though these lipsticks are matte, they really are creamy mattes. They're not going to dry out your lips and make it feel uncomfortable or like you just want to rip your lips off, because we've all worn those matte lipsticks that just make you like want to drink a huge glass of water because your lips are so dry. These are very comfortable. They're almost more of like a velvet finish, so they're very soft. They're also very pigmented. I wish they would come out with just every single shade you could imagine in this lipstick formula because I love this lipstick formula so much. Alright, so that's it for my top 10 products under $10. I know that was a lot of information and that I tend to talk a lot, but I just want to try and give you guys as much information as I possibly can. In the comment section below, let me know what your favorite products are under $10, and I will see you guys in my next video. And as I mentioned at the beginning, if you guys aren't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below this video. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.